Line 6, you're live on Talk Sport. Good morning.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello.
I just was thinking about that last caller you had on.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that she's getting on the radio. She wants to make a name of herself. She wants to be remembered by people. I think you let her do that. As well as I think she's a completely nasty bitch, but you shouldn't have let her, stay on for so long.
Well, no, look, I'm a man of my word. I've never broken a promise and I've never lied. And if I say that this show is total democracy, calls go on unscreened and they stay on until they go, I don't cut anybody off and I can't cut anybody off.
I have to say, it wasn't a nice experience listening to her.
It wasn't a very nice experience for me either.
I have to say that this is probably the worst person I've ever heard on the radio.
I would say it's the most unpleasant call I've ever taken on the radio, and I've probably taken hundreds of thousands.
And I also think she said she's got children, didn't she?
I know where you're going with this, and don't, because let's not go there. I know what you're saying.
Too bad, isn't it? Too horrible.
Let's press on.
Yes.
Put the experience in a box. Wrap it up.
She's still there, isn't she? There's still lots of
there's loads of them out there. There's loads of them out there. My son tells me that when he walks through the street, some people deliberately walk into his path in the hope that he'll bump into them so that they can go, watch where you're going.
Yeah, I've seen those people.
That's a benevolent, almost benevolent, benign manifestation of this mental state that a lot of people are in.
But I also think it's slightly present in all of us, to a small degree.
Yeah, I can think horrible thoughts, but I've learned to watch my own thoughts go by, and it's not always a carnival. But then, having seen them go by, I know what they are, and I choose which ones to act on.
I find sometimes I can be a bit, insensitive. I can't seem to, don't always care about something. And it is sometimes difficult to actually care, somebody's got a problem.
That's right, but if you think like that, then you're not likely to make too many mistakes. I always think the best parents are the ones who think that they must be making a bad job of it, because they're the ones who are analysing it and working on it and studying it and agonising about it. They're the good ones. The ones who think there's nothing to it, they're the ones who worry me. It's the I'm a good mum me.
Yeah.
Nothing to it. Read a book about it? Nah, my mum never read a book about it, and she didn't do too bad a job. Pass as a fag.
The people don't put any effort into it.
Yeah.
They just think they're everything.
Yeah.
I was interested. How old do you think she was?
Oh, young.
Not too young though.
Lonely. And very, very angry. I'm not going to say disturbed because. If I did, it was only with a small d, but...
What about pathetic?
Well, not in its literal sense, because pathos is quite a...
Well, in the other sense, it's sad. Well, no, not that.
Too dangerous to be pathetic. Too dangerous. Too good at being unpleasant. That's...
So can you explain it? I'm not...
No, because she's closed. She doesn't want to tell us about herself. If you ask her any questions about herself, she doesn't want to.
No, I noticed the way she trod around. She pretended that she was concerned about you, but she really wanted to get at you. But
she's always been like that. When you do this job, you get used to a certain person who will try like Billy-O to get on to hurt you.
I think when she came on, she started talking about life after death. That was to set it up, wasn't it?
Yes, and that became clear as well because she wasn't actually terribly interested in what I had to say.
That's why then the course suddenly started to go bad, wasn't it?
It would have gone bad. In the past she's got. I'll tell you what it is. I think I've told her that I didn't want her on the show any longer, but I can't stop her unless I screen calls, and I don't want to do that because I think this kind of thing is quite interesting. It's refreshing.
I don't know about refreshing. I thought it was. I suppose
painful.
Yeah.
But then therefore perhaps more like real life than an awful lot of stuff that gets broadcast.
I hope it's not true real life though.
Well, it's as close as it gets.
I mean, for most people.
We get a cross-section, you get a I
say it was shocking. We shouldn't really dwell on it though too much.
It's difficult not to, isn't it? It's difficult to put an experience behind you. But I find, you know, that if you can talk about something straight after it's happened, then you can just perhaps say, right now, don't need that any longer. Let's move on.
If that was my father and somebody had said that, you know, you feel like sending somebody around to, you know, have a word with them. Probably a bit more.
I think it's satisfying to construct a mental image of that person suffering a misfortune, and we do that.
So that...
And most men, before they actually go to sleep, most nights, go through their day, come across somebody who was unpleasant to them, and briefly mentally think about what they would do with a baseball bat. Nothing wrong with that. That's normal.
I feel certain ways to people very close, actually. Who would have been close at one time. You know, like siblings, you know. I shouldn't... No, I shouldn't upload my problems.
Well, that's what we're like. And the reason I like sharing as many things as possible.
Yeah.
Although there's some things that will always be private, I guess. But you know, maybe this is 50 years ahead of my time. But the reason I think it's good to share as many things as possible is because then we come to understand that we're all pretty much the same. And when we come to realise that, we will have a lot more time to enjoy ourselves. Because we'll spend less time being jealous and envious and angry and, you know.
That's going to take an awfully long process, isn't it?
Well, the Chinese have this story about a traveller.
Yeah.
Who arrived in a village and asked whether he could be sheltered for the night and could he possibly buy a bowl of rice. And they said, yes, we cook the rice when the men come in from the fields. And so he said, fine. The men came in from the fields where they'd worked all day and they had their bowl of rice. And then they got up and he said to the woman, where are they going? And she said, well, they're going up to the mountain because the sun never shines on this village because the mountain is too tall. So the men are going up with their wheelbarrows and every day they take some of the earth from the top of the mountain and distribute it on the ground. And he went out and he looked at this mountain. He said, but the mountain's huge, he said. They're never going to lower the mountain enough for the sun to shine on the village. And the woman said, no, not in their lifetime they won't. Maybe not in their son's lifetime. But as long as we work hard enough, one day, perhaps, the sun will shine on our grandchildren. And I think that's how it can be for all of us if we just do our bit with our wheelbarrow.
But not if there's people like that about, though. It's going to be difficult, isn't it?
Well, that's a negative thought you got there.
Oh, sorry.
For a moment, isn't it? Let's play positive chess, shall we?
Well, I just started playing chess, actually.
Have you?
I like it. I think it's a brilliant game.
It's all right, isn't it? Don't devote your life to it.
No.
They all seem to go mad the more they play.
Yeah, the person I was with, he was a bit, he was a grandmaster. I saw him yesterday, and he was a bit, he was a nice guy, but he was a bit, you know, a bit reclusive.
I must crack on if you're done.
Yes, I can't. I forgot what I was going to say. So.
Well, I've enjoyed your call. You're a nice person, and I do appreciate your words of wisdom.
I hope you get over your bereavements and don't let people affect you. Okay.
Oh, well, I'll always let people affect me.
Oh yes.
Otherwise, you know, you're a robot. But
thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you very much. See you then. Very nice man. Bye bye. See you again. I hope. Do call again.